How's it going? What's up, Andy? Yeah, it's the Strat, the NJ Strat. Will. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. I love starting out like that. Just a little latency jam over the internet. It's great, yeah. How's it going, everyone? If you're tuning in tonight, it's Sam and Shawn here tonight running the show. Derek is not with us this evening, so we're just going to be hanging out, trading licks, trading stories, trading whatever.
Yeah,
whatever you can trade over the internet. Not cryptocurrency. How's it going, Tanner? What's up, man? Yeah. So what a time for that, eh? I'm staying out of it, man. I feel like I'm too all in on stuff. Like if I get involved, it's just gonna be a mess.
I don't know. The way things are right now, you might as well.
Yeah. Everything's just jumping up and down. Yeah, just dive in. Just go. Not being planned at the moment, but I don't really know currently what's on the dock at the moment. That would be an interesting idea for sure. Is that the? No, I think you're on the Sur right now, eh? Someone was asking if that's the Schecters
me?
There. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the Sur. Yep.
On the Sur, but you have the NJ Strat chilling in the background there.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's Derek's guitar.
As is this, but I like to mooch it when I'm here.
Yeah.
Great.
He ain't here to take it, so.
No, exactly. I got dibs on that one tonight. So how's everybody doing tonight? How's everyone's week going? What's on the go? Anybody on here put in an entry yet for the WTF contest? I've seen a good handful of those coming in over the past few days already, which is great. To win the corner of the amp, which you see here on the screen. Big Limb Schecters. Uncle got me one years ago, 6/7 string. Yeah, actually, my first 7 string I bought was a Schecter Blackjack ATX. You ever own a 7 string, Shawn?
No, I would be lost. I back in my bass playing days, I had a 6-string bass, and somebody I think my friends held some sort of like intervention, so I couldn't even play. Ended up playing 4-string basses. Yeah, but yeah, I've never had anything but a 6-string guitar. I picked them up every once in a while, and I'm really confused. But then when I kind of figure it out, they're really cool. And if you get the right one with a good neck and they intonate and everything, they're a lot of fun. I'll eventually get one.
I think for me it was finding the balance of like not using the 7 string and just getting used to playing it like a normal 6. Like it just immediately, because that was there, just like the muscle memory was different and it looked so much more intensive. But when you learn to forget that it's there, it's very useful.
Yeah. I'm sure it's fun. I mean, there's a lot of chord melody and jazz cats that play 7-string guitars, and it's haunting.
It
the
is.
arrangements they come up with. It's really, really cool.
Mm-hmm. And also just playing. I like playing in B. It's just a nice key.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Just saying, I was messing around today. I think I'm half step down, but I know it's supposed to be. It's a D minor. That's the saddest key. The D minor to me just sounds so sad. Having the nice low B there. So.
But yeah, that's the nice thing about you get all those open, and then even if you go major, you get all that stuff.
Totally. Yeah. And also a decent amount of dudes that'll tune it like with a high string, like the whole semitone difference goes down.
Yes.
And that's when it gets weird having like the extra high range,
Mm-hmm.
Like or dudes playing it like in drop C with like a high. I guess what would that be? Drop C would be a high.
So you get all this kind of stuff going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Licks are greasy. Someone's been watching Trailer Park Boys. Yeah, new Intervals record is lit. Thanks, dude. I didn't play anything on it, but they're good songs. Splint, doing good. How are you, man? Robbie, I have the 6-string Holcomb and absolutely love the 20-inch radius. Probably going to go for the 7. I haven't tried the 7-string. I don't think any 7-string PRS is actually. I think they just got into that with the. Well, I mean, obviously you can order what you want, but for production models, I guess the Holcomb, and I guess they did the SEs too, but I haven't played any. Yeah, be nice to try that out. I don't know. It seems like a short scale, like for me personally with a 7. Like even on a 6, I find like I gravitate to at least a 25 on a 6. You know. What are you thinking there? Oh, is he frozen up on us? Oh, you're there still. Okay.
No, sorry. I'm staring because I'm like 20-inch radius. I was just trying to remember.
Like the nut radius, I think is what he's.
Yeah, well, he
about.
means the neck radius, the curvature of the fretboard. And I was like,
yeah.
Man, I think this one's might be a 16.
Yeah.
I
that's why.
Yeah,
oh, I
that's
guess for a
really
7, that's
flat,
not bad.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a 7 especially. And I was just thinking about the scale length on this. I think, Robbie, maybe you could correct me. It's a 26.5 on the Holcomb.
Yeah.
Great. No, I was going to say, I feel like the regular SEs I played were like a 25.5, which to me is a little slinky for a low B or A. But, you know, different hands for different people, I guess. Or different people have different hands. Is what I meant to say.
Hey, man, it's different strokes for different... Wait, what?
Yeah, for who? What? Yeah.
Wait,
so, I mean, yeah. So, I mean, obviously, you know, we've both been busy, but what have you been, what's been in your world of playing and recording recently? What's been fun? What's going on in the world of Shawn?
Lots of solos, actually, guys. Because I get guys from LA that want me to just kind of, you know, take a solo on their kind of rock stuff. So I've been doing that, and then of course lots of demos. I'm looking at 5 overdrive pedals I need to demo and get going, and between that and just the rev stuff, and the session thing has kicked back in a little bit, which has been great. And it's, you know, because I lived in LA for so long, there's so many guys that kind of, you know, still send me work here and there. And I mean, for the most part, I've just been such a cave troll, especially with all this, you know, COVID stuff
COVID
going
business.
on.
Of course, more incentive to be a cave troll than ever.
Yeah. So,
absolutely.
No, it's been good. I've been busy. I mean, the last 3 solos that I did for these guys all happened on, channel 4 of the Rev. And
it's funny that you mentioned that, because I was doing a session the other day as well where I swore I was going to gravitate to the 3rd channel, and it ended up being 4 as well. Like I feel like I'm finding new turf with that channel, because it sags a different way. Like it does work a lot, like really well for a lot of those lower gain tones too, just because it saturates at a nice point without a lot of dirt on it. You know, like I'm sure that's. Yeah,
because I mean, I'm a pedal guy for the most part, but for higher gains, I mean, there's some great high gain pedals out there, obviously, but there's something about just channel gain, you know, playing tubes.
Yeah.
So it's been gravitating towards the amps that I have, you know, because I've got the Mark III, and you probably can't see it behind me, but I've got a Friedman BE100 Deluxe too. The 3rd channel on that's really great for you know, like a higher gain kind of solo thing.
Yep.
But just been up to my usual no good.
Yeah. No good. Yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah, it's I guess with the 4th channel, I was kind of gravitating to, like, you know, generally you think of it as being more, you know, balls to the wall type stuff. But I was finding, like, even on, like, right now I'm on the red aggression with it, running the gain at pretty much nothing. You get almost like a nice pop tone, I think, because it's like it's saturating really hard, but the preamp gain's quite low, so it pushes like it's a lot hotter, but it's not. It really was, I guess, fun to mess around with, because I've always been someone who just goes to channel 3, because right away you just get like, you know, like that heavy tone. I was like, you know, that's what I want, but it ended up, totally going the route of. Yeah, more almost martially. I don't want to say that, because it's like.
Well, but it kind of is, and I think that's the thing that, like, at least what I've been discovering as I've been using this amp more and more is those aggression modes. They're different stages of gain, but they're all. I look at it more as different stages or different types of tonalities. So
right, exactly.
It doesn't mean like if you're in the red aggression mode that you couldn't turn the gain down and have a completely different tonality, because that one is, if you turn it down, it kind of turns into almost like a modded like JCM thing, but with a little bit more of a sag to it. It's not so, kind of,
Like
it's not
it doesn't have the
stiff.
sizzle, but it has the same. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like kind of like a more sleek, less hairy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I saw someone say that Ola's video went up today, and yeah, we just saw that actually this afternoon, and he did a great job. I like how multiple points in the video is like, yeah, I ordered a purple one, and it's blue. Just like, yeah, it is.
Yes.
Definitely
yes,
is.
Ola, it is blue.
We're working on sourcing purple for you. Yeah, I think we're gonna try to find some. I think that was the only thing, but yeah, Ola's awesome, and we were really glad to see that go up today. He did a great job, and yeah, very thankful to have him do that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Ola always does great work. He's good, man.
I saw someone ask about amps shipping to Sweetwater. We are kind of always sending stuff out to Sweetwater, so there's a good chance that your amp will be on the way soon. We do a lot of stuff with the MK3s with them, so yeah, there's a good chance if you've ordered through Sweetwater, your amp will be on the way fairly soon. Yeah, the other thing that like surprised me. Oh, you can go ahead. Sorry, man. Like, I feel like with the latency, like I'll start going and then you'll start going, and I feel like a dick.
Sorry,
like I'm like cutting you off.
No,
you can go ahead, man.
No, not at all. I was just thinking like that Channel 4 thing. Like that's how I use Channel 4. But that sorry, I don't have a camera on the amp, but I mean I'm not using any aggression modes, and the gains at like, I don't know, 1 o'clock. That's kind of my go-to. Yeah. But if I need more, I can go to the red aggression mode without changing anything. And now the sag and that kind of squishy thing.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It still gives a little bit of that sizzle. It's like a little more in the realm of those vintage amps, but the aggression, I feel, is like what almost gives it more of that modern push. Like, kind of is what brings it into that more. Yeah, absolutely. Rock and roll. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Rock and
roll actually made me want one. So what's the chance of getting a purple one? We are working on it, mostly due to that, because we want to get a purple amp. But yeah. There are purple Bronco and there's a purple Garnet. We actually launched the Amp Designer about a week ago. It actually went up on our US and Canada store, and all of our different Tolex options that are currently available and in stock are there. So if you wanted to see what that would look like, you actually could go and design that yourself. What is Andy saying here? With a clean one-channel pedal platform amp like the D20, I would still want to put in time-based effects of the other suspects in the loop. What's your answer to that, Shawn?
It depends on how you run the amp. I would rather run, if I'm not running the amp with any overdrive to the channel, if it's relatively clean, I'd still run everything to the front. If you find that you're wanting to run the channel more overdriven, that's really the reason to use the effects loop. But at the end of the day, it's to each his own. But I would. I like everything to the front end because it just sounds really, really cool. But if you're running that amp kind of a little bit more broken up, then it could definitely be better.
Benefit from not hitting the front so hard.
Yep.
Yeah. It's funny because Derek is very much a person that just puts everything in front, and up until recently, I kind of did the same. But yeah, Dan kind of like, it's funny to play guitar for how long and see however many amps with effects loops and just never went into it. And then Dan kind of Derek always tells the story. It's like they went to the first trade show together, and he's hooking a delay pedal up into the front of the amp, and Dan's like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you doing that?" I was like, "What? What do you mean? It's a pedal. I'm plugging it in." No, it goes in the back. And it's like that. I mean, even doing that and first, like the last amp I had didn't have a loop, and experimenting with that noticeably did make a huge difference in how the preamp responded, and just the amount of preamp voice you want in those effects, and especially with time-based stuff like delays and verbs, like you're going to sound a lot more true to how they sound in the effects loop. But it just depends, as you said, on if you want that or not. Yeah,
because delays and reverbs will get away from you really quick. Delays will get really aggro sounding. So like an amp like the 120, I mean, it's all channel gain on the 3 channels. So the only time you'd want to run to the front end is, for clean based stuff on the clean channel. But otherwise, yeah, you'd want to use the effects loop, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also like, I've definitely tried running different drives and stuff in the effects loop too that I've liked. Like, I know that's definitely not conventional, but like, it's not really to say that there's a correct way to do any of that. I think it's just how you want the amp to respond. But yeah, that's the biggest thing to think about is, as delays and reverbs are producing much more signal, they are going to hit your preamp much harder and therefore not translate quite as cleanly, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome. So we say use the high gain hardcore tones with an OD and G3 in front. Delays and reverbs will still come out clear because the gain is before the time-based stuff. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
To the front end of a D20, yes, you're correct.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be the way to go. Sound is tone is awesome one day. Oh man, thank you, Splint. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, glad to hear you're enjoying the amps. Newest Legend Shawn, Brian Adams video. Yeah, man, that Brian Adams video was great.
Oh, thanks, Corey. That's really nice of you, man. Yeah, that was fun. That was the first time I actually tried to do that solo, and I still can't do it.
It's a tone. Like, I mean, you're definitely pretty spot on with replicating tones, but it's certainly a finger tone thing. I think with that, because it's such an exposing guitar tone itself.
Yeah, Keith is just that dude's just a beast of a player. But yeah, I had even more respect for him when I actually went for that solo because it sounds like it's kind of easy, but it's really not. You can bend notes out of tune, and yeah, his hands. It's pretty hard to nail that thing. But yeah, that's really nice of you, Corey. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I find with tunes like that, like a lot of those older rock tones, it's like that's the tone. It's just how they played it. It's not just like most of that stuff was. I know Brian Adams maybe not, but like a lot of that old stuff was not recorded great, and what you're hearing is just the way that it was played. Like
yeah,
that's exactly it.
For sure.
Jack, what's up, man? Sir Schechter. I like them both. I'm not gonna say that I have a preference really. I love guitars from both. We have this here. We don't have any Sirs here, so this has kind of been like the strat that I enjoy playing here.
Yeah, they're both really great guitars. You just have to play them. If you don't connect with one over the other, it's not because one is better than the other. It's just which guitar suits you. Once you get into that caliber of instrument, like the guitar that Sammy's got and the one I have, it's like they're both great. One's just going to feel better than the other, just organically be better for you. So yeah, they're both great guitars.
Whatever you like. I don't think I've played anything from either brand, like in terms of this style of instrument that I've disliked. So, does it have a built-in attenuator? So the amp does have a built-in load box. It doesn't have like an attenuator where you can sweep from like, let's say 10 to 100 watts or whatever. With this amp, it's either 120 watts or 10 watts. And then it does have the load box for the 2 notes, which is like the reactive load built into the amp. So I don't really find, I don't know how you'd feel about this, Shawn, but I don't really find a lot of difference in feel from 10 to 120. Like I find even with 120 at low volumes, it does respond fairly similarly.
It's pretty, as far as the feel.
Yeah, like I feel like a lot of it is just voiced in how the preamp sounds. Like it doesn't really rely on being pushed.
Yeah, not so much. Yeah, I mean the power section is going to do something different because it's considerably less efficient, but it's still gonna feel great. Yeah, whatever.
Oh, there he is. Derek says Schechter NJ. Of course, he's still in the comments. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Headphones.
Well, he's slightly
you can use
biased.
too, yeah, because this is his.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's looking into that telly right now. Like, frick, when are they gonna get me that thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fender and ESP. Yeah, I love ESPs, man. Japanese ESPs are some of the nicest guitars I've played for metal stuff for sure. Yeah. I don't know. This thing does everything well. Like for the high gain stuff too. Like I find this is a really low. I think that's why I like it. Is it's a fairly low output guitar, and I think over time I've realized that even for higher gain things, I like lower gain things. If that makes sense, like kind of being able to stack. I think we talked a little bit about this on the stream last week, but being able to stack smaller gain stages towards a fuller sound, and that also having each stage kind of fill out a little bit more space, as opposed to just cranking the gain and getting that, like, or having really hot pickups from the get-go because you want to get a high gain tone. It's like immediately you're not going to be able to pull that back, and that's kind of what I think I like about this, is because it's just very true sounding and not really that high output.
Yeah, I haven't used high output pickups for a really long time. I don't think mine get much over. I think that Tyler guitar I have has a hotter bridge pickup in it, but I don't get much over about 8K, honestly, on my like humbucker outputs. Yeah, because I can get, there's so many great amps out there that have tons of gain. I'd rather just drag it out of the amp because there's plenty there. It just feels better. It's more organic, and nothing against like a high output pickup, because for some people that's the jam. But for me,
Totally.
I just want it to be a little bit more like stringy,
Exactly. Stringy is like a really good word for it, because you're just hearing it just sounds very simple when you say that, but you're just kind of hearing every piece that you're putting together.
Yes,
and there's a lot more clarity kind of within every realm of that. Like if I was to run channel 4 or something like that, and then put a G2 in front of it for a bit of a boost, like that has a different character than just hitting. That's the amp on its own, and then this would be just, let's say the amp kind of dialed back with a compressor and a G2 on it. That's going to get real out of hand. Let's do that. So this is with the G2. And it's not like it's any hotter, but it just fills out a different frequency space, and I think kind of being able to like pick the pieces that you want to build a gain with more character is kind of nice. So again, like amp on its own. Switching to like no aggression on the amp, just like that with the G2. It just adds a different layer of like, again, not much more gain, but just different frequency space that fills it out more, which I'm definitely a fan of for high gain tones, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like this pickup, this one's definitely hotter. I mean, you can hear right away. It's like, I wish I should switch right back to this, but this one's like way hotter but a little bit darker. And that's without changing.
That's the Tyler?
On the amp. Yeah. Yeah, so
that's a cool sounding guitar, man.
Well, the thing is kind of cool with the Tyler is, like for clean stuff. I mean, I love this guitar for everything, but I can go from passive to active. So, like right now, the guitar, that's passive.
Oh, there with those Landau chords again.
But if I want to go active, and basically it's because it has this boost on here, this control. It's a boost. I never use it. I mean, I do sometimes, but what can happen is if I don't use the boost and I just hit the boost switch, hear how it glassed it out?
Totally.
Now it's like more of an active tone.
Totally. Hey, you can hear it in the attack.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good word for it, glassed out. Like the attack is almost really short and like compressed, but it like, yeah. That's cool, man. Yeah. And it's like I was gonna say I would never think to use an active sound for that tone, but like just hearing the way it compresses the attack is like perfect for that.
Yeah, because that's that to me is like that's the tone. But if I shut it off, now it's way more vintage.
Yeah, that sounds awesome, man. I didn't realize the guitar had that feature. I think I like it active, man, for that tone, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I mean, definitely for the clean stuff. Yeah, it's definitely the ticket there.
Yeah, that's the sauce.
Yeah, it works great for that.
Come on.
It's great for that
dude.
junk.
Yeah, junk. That's what that was. That's junk. Jack, I've never actually tried the Tyler guitar, so I couldn't really tell you. I mean, it's a Strat, but clearly from what Shawn just showed us, there's a lot of different stuff electronically in there that I wasn't aware of. So,
I mean, they're not all like that. I mean, that one has that on it, but you can get one that doesn't have any of that. So it's going to be more like just a straight ahead Strat.
Yeah.
They are absolutely fabulous guitars. It's inarguable. There's guys that don't like the look of the headstock, but at the end of the day, if you play one, you'll pretty much want one.
I've definitely played pieces of gear like that. There's something aesthetically where I'm like, I don't know, and then you play it and it's like, well, yeah, well, fuck, like that's what it is. You know?
They're really good guitars. I mean, and they're completely different. That's the thing. It's like I'm not going to change the pickups in that to make it sound like this guitar, because that would
because you have that guitar.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And this
exactly
guitar
it.
is like home base. I've had it forever. I'll never part with this guitar. But then there's other guitars. There's this one is a completely different Strat. It's more. Sorry, you guys probably can't hear me. It's more kind of vintage. It's got like a 7.25 radius, so it's super round, and so for me, it's like I kind of grew up playing Strats, and I just like different Strats. So this thing is nothing like that Tyler, which is nothing like the LSL, which is nothing like Derek's Schecter. It's like
totally. Yeah, we've got this in here. We've got the EB Rooster. We've got the LSL, and like they're all so vastly different. Even though you would assume that they're like similar guitars, and I think that just shows you that every. I'm sure this Schecter is different than that Schecter. It's with boutique instruments like that where they're not factory made and they're not like carbon copies of another. It's kind of hard to even compare brands because you're going to get different guitars within those brands.
Yeah. Well, even that Ultra. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that Ultra behind me, that's a good Strat too. I've played that thing a bunch, but it sounds and feels completely different. That one's actually that's Derek's. Man, are any of these guitars mine?
None of the ones here are mine, but we are at the shop, so that makes sense. Will, sorry, I saw you asked, and sorry for anyone who may not know, Will actually is working in our shop here now, helping out with a lot of different stuff, circuit building, repairs, all that type of stuff, and he's been great. So thanks for checking this out, dude. When gauge staging would you go below noon on, sorry, I'm trying to read the prompt here, on the knob to reserve the frequency for a different pedal? I don't think the gain necessarily translates to the frequency. I think it just kind of comes down to finding, this is just like such a cliche answer where it's like you just got to find it, but it's like there's so many different pieces that you're dealing with. I mean, that could have to do with the amount of gain you're getting off your pickups into the pedal. It could be the amount of gain you're running into the pedal, or the gain you're running from the pedal into another pedal or into another amp or anything like that. So I think it's just kind of finding the voice of each pedal and just kind of slowly trying different ways to see how they complement each other, feeding into each other. Like it's another one of those things where I don't think there's like a correct way to do. You kind of just have to find the voice in the pieces that you have. I will say that if you're running a distortion pedal like the Diesel, I'm assuming is pretty hot. If you're running that into anything that has gain on top of it, you might start to run into a lot of noise. I'd maybe start with just using that as like on a clean platform and just kind of seeing how hot you can get the gain before that starts to happen. Or if it's a preamp, you could try running it into the back of your amp. Like that's another, I don't know how much you've experimented with running drives as preamps and stuff like that, but that's always a fun way to do it. It just comes down to kind of what we said before, where it just depends on how it's going to hit the front of your amp. So if there's a lot going on and it's hitting it really hard, you might just want to slowly dial it back and just kind of find what's coming from each piece down the line. If that long-winded answer. But
No, it's a really good answer, because unfortunately it becomes a bit relative until you try it.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
I could bring this exact rig home and even be dealing with different power in my house. Like everything is circumstantial. Like I was trying to do some recording in my basement today and I discovered that I have a noisy outlet because I was trying to plug in. I was just like, what's going on? Why am I getting this hum? It was the outlet in my basement. So even things down to that can make a difference. So
yeah,
no
absolutely.
problem, Will. Yeah. Poo Ninja's here. Yes, it's a real stream. Poo Ninja has arrived. Honestly, I find every day my balance different gain, do this differently. Changing anything in the front will change it drastically. Yeah, totally. We just kind of just individually looking at the pieces that you have and how they're each contributing to your whole sound. So, what was this one here? Poo Ninja's graced us. Yes, yes. And my resonance. That's actually another thing I've been experimenting with the amp here, and maybe you'd have some insight on this too, but I've been finding I've been having a lot more fun rolling the power amp presence quite low and getting most of my top end just out of the preamp, because I'm finding out at higher volumes like that essentially is like the presence is basically a high end control for your power amp, and the higher the presence is, the more top end you're going to get in your breakup. So I've kind of been experimenting with recording and running the presence like well below noon, and just trying to get the top end out of the preamp without kind of the sizzle you'd get from a presence control. I don't know. I don't know, something fun. I don't feel like we're just talking about.
That's absolutely what I do, though, because I mean, for me, it's all about how the preamp is responding, and sometimes the preamp with the treble hotter sounds and feels better, and if I can maybe back off the presence to get the tone I want, then I'll do it. But like right now, yeah, my presence is just well, here, hang on a second. For like this tone, it's not a super bright tone, but my presence is like at 11 o'clock.
Yeah,
I actually like the presence a little bit lower, and then I'll gun treble first, and then you know, and that's the thing, dial it with your ears, not your eyes. And you know, if you're happy with the sound, unless something's just horrifically wrong, and you had to turn the treble all the way up and the amp still sounds dark, it's like, nah, dial it with your ears, you know.
That's exactly it. It was the first tour in this will sound hilarious. I'll say it's the first tour in a while that we used amps, but with intervals. We had been using a digital rig for a while, and there was a tour where we brought out amp rigs, and right away the way that like I hadn't gigged really with my amp in a while or in that type of setting at all, and the way that I had it dialed in my room just did not translate. And it was sitting down with our sound guy, and he's like, man, you got it. Like, he literally just went up to the presence control and just turned it down. He's like, my mic isn't going to get that top end anymore. I was like, okay. And then kind of just that type of tone. Presence up a little more on the depth down. I was running to something like this. And for that type of stuff, like, it cuts for sure. But if you do like this kind of thing and then just boost the treble here, like all the definition is still there, but the shrillness is gone. There you go. That's what you like, right?
Yeah, all the stuff I can't play.
Oh, dude, that's noise. All you gotta do is just hit it
but
and whack
it's the
some
other stuff.
stuff.
It's this whatever this stuff is that you're doing.
Oh, like it's like a flat 5.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah. Wow, I just heard you do that. That's awesome. Yeah, and then the best scrape is like right in the middle of the 3rd fret. That was perfect. There you go. Oh God, I've poisoned you. Yeah, exactly. Do like some blues riff with that. That's
how
awesome.
They do a blues riff. Let's see.
It's like.
Almost.
Frick. I did one the other day in the shop where it was like. Oh, I forget what it was. It was like 9 in the morning. I've been getting in the shop like super early, so like I'll get in at like 7 o'clock, and like by the time everybody comes in at 9, I'm already going. So I came in, it's like 9 in the morning, and Derek just walks in all tired, and I'm just going. And he's just like, it's way too fucking early for that. But it was this one harmonic where it was like I probably couldn't recreate it again, but it was just like out of trying to be obnoxious.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I would just wait for him to come in if I was there along with you, and just be going.
Yeah, Robbie says, shit, Sean's going to put out a tech death album now and just school all of us.
No. I wish.
Gents from upcountry. Derek. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. Nonsense is fun sometimes. Just like those types of like really jarring tones. Like, I don't know. Sometimes it's fun just to be destructive like that.
No, it's so cool because it's like gratifying when I hear that stuff. It's like, good God, is that gratifying? But yeah, I just can't play it. I'll be covered in bruises, and I'll pull my groin, and God only knows what'll happen. Break a collarbone.
Goes to one hardcore show and that's it.
Yeah. What happened to Shawn?
Shows up with
dead.
It shows up with the Tyler guitar. What's that? What's that active switch? Yeah, that's too many strings. Yeah, it's funny though because you can get like real aggressive tones with the split. Yeah, it's like I can't do any of that shit, like the thumping stuff, but like Tosin Abasi does like all the kind of like thumping split coil stuff with that type of tone, and it's just gnarly sounding.
I used to be able to do it. I can't do it anymore.
It's true. That's way too early for metal. I'll make sure it's only country and dad rock pre 11 o'clock, Derek. We'll be good to go.
I like Robbie's answer. That's the point, Shawn. Yeah, probably.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it wakes up in the morning, dude. Yep. Yeah, but same thing. Back on the red channel, I've always been a third channel guy, and recently, honestly, you were using the red channel for a lot of stuff. I was like, man, it's not really how I thought it was going to sound, and then that led to experimenting with that, and yeah, totally kind of like we haven't had the sound bud for that long, but kind of rediscovering the channels on the amp, and it's been a lot of fun. So yeah, and we've had a lot of time just to sit and experiment at home,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I keep circling back to even the green channel, which will bore the crud out of you guys, but just for the blues stuff or blues E, that it's like I really dig that tone. I mean, that's just the green channel, none of the drive modes, bright switch on. It just has this cool.
Play those things and it makes me so sad but so happy that I can't play those things.
It's
Dude,
all garbage.
I find that specifically on the Mark III, and I did really enjoy the green channel on the 100p and the 120 before, but the dynamic range on the new green channel is crazy. Like if I had to take one channel from the amp to have, it would be that, because it literally can get down to kind of what let you do more of that. But I'll turn down here. Like verging on clean, all the way up to literally that. So it just the bright switch I find too totally changes the voicing. I'm not sure if you like to run that on or off or not, but
I always run it on. Yeah, because I like what it brings to the top end. If I needed to be more like that vintage, like JTM kind of like bitey top end, then I'll gun the treble and turn the bright off. But yeah, for the most part, I always have that bright switch on, and then the treble's actually turned down. The treble's at about 9 o'clock.
Nice. I guess so. I find that aside from the obvious more top end, the bright switch to me I almost use more for the voicing and the attack than anything else. It's not it's the same kind of thing with using the aggression. It's I don't really use the aggression to get more distortion. It's more or less just to kind of get a little more push.
Yes.
And I think that's the same thing with the bright and with the wide on the clean, but specifically the bright, it just gives it a little more kind of gankiness, which it's a made up shitty word, but you know what I mean? No, I know what you mean. But his dad rocks like it. Yeah, and do more what you were doing there with the green channel. That was awesome.
That that what you were just doing, that split, that's such a cool, like that stuff. I mean, you do that better than I do, but
definitely not. But
it's just like an airiness there in those, I call them the cot positions, and it's just back when I was a kid, and I don't own it anymore because I'm an idiot, but I had a 63 Strat, and it only had a 3-position switch on it, but you can get that switch kind of caught between the pickups, so I still habitually to this day call them the cot positions. So yeah, second and fourth are the cot positions. People are always like, what are you saying? Are you sleeping?
I was hearing cot as in a fold out bed, and I was like, it's cozy there, what?
Yeah, because it folds out and I can sleep.
What does he mean? Yeah, I can take it anywhere I want to go, and it's always there for me. Yeah, exactly.
But it's just it's just the right vibe. I mean, you can do the clean channel, but if I just want that little bit of breakup, going back to the green channel, it's just that's the
man.
jam.
It's in the attack, and I think it might be again with the bright on the green channel to me just does something where it's all within that kind of pick attack. A little bit of compression on there. I just realized this thing's screaming at me because I stepped on it and it was dialed all weird. It just feels really springy, you know? Can't do that as good as you. the more top end. But yeah, just really springy, and it just feels really like stuck to your hand, just really rolls off the fingers nicely. What was that?
Nice.
Fun, man. Sounds great. Tried playing that riff earlier and realized I can't play it anymore. Yeah, Jack, that's a riff where if you don't play it for a week, you're going to forget it. It's a jumpy riff. Position 4 is the caught position. So I guess position 4 technically would be neck, middle.
Well, they're both. Yeah, for me, it's not caught like COT. It's caught like CAUG. Yeah,
like the switch is stuck there.
Yeah. So the second and fourth position. But yeah, it is the position 4 is the coziest caught. Yes, I won't argue that. It's a very cozy, sleepable position.
I saw someone ask earlier about HSS versus SSS too, but I don't know. I like having a humbucker for the gain personally.
Yeah, I mean, if I can only take one guitar to a gig, and I will take 9 times out of 10, I'll take a single hum Strat for sure because it just covers more ground. But I do like the stringiness and the openness of a 3 single coil guitar. It just depends on what I'm doing, but yeah, I tend to gravitate towards having a bridge humbucker on a Strat for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like most I definitely used to be just a humbucker person. And then after being introduced to split coils, kind of became an HSS person because I just I'll always kind of need the rock tone like with the humbucker. But what's the best delay for U2 songs? Anything that is stereo with BPM tempo programming. Strymon would be a good go-to. Yeah, like a Timeline or an Eventide or something like that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, he back in the day it was Memory Man's, and then he went from that to the Korgs. But yeah, I would say there's so many great delays out there.
I'm gonna sound super dated, but were there back when U2 was doing that, were there digital delays that he could program to tempo, or would he have to just tap all of that?
Yeah, he on the Memory Man's he was like turning, until it was right, and then later
that's crazy, man.
You could you could tap things in. And you could because you could BPM. You didn't necessarily tap it in, but you knew the BPM. And a lot of guys used delay charts, so they would know the BPM, and then they would find the delay based on the BPM of the song. But you couldn't tap it in. You had to look at a delay chart and go, okay, if it's an eighth note at this BPM, this is the delay time. It's 248 milliseconds, or
it was all milliseconds.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep. That's crazy.
Yeah, those were crazy times. Adrian is asking, would you say the green channel on the new Mark III heads has a lot more gain than the G2 pedal?
Let's see here. I don't know. I mean, I have a G2 hooked up if we want to listen quick. I will say that...
Go ahead, Sam. I'm sorry.
No. I was going to say, I will say that I know that the drive stages on the new amp were influenced by the G2 because there were no drive stages on... I feel like, the second channel definitely got the most modifying. It got the bright switch, it got the drive stages. Whereas the wide switch is definitely new for the clean, but that's it. And then with the high gain channels, it's essentially a lot of the same features, except for the fact that they're programmable. So I feel like channel 2 definitely did get revoiced the most out of the three. let's hear it. I don't know. Let's hear how it sounds. So right now, I'm just gonna
So what are you doing, Sam? Are you just going to run the G2 into the clean channel and then jump to channel 2?
I guess, yeah, that's probably the best way. Like, I generally like running the G pedals in front, anyways. Like, I've tried them in the loop and they work, but I certainly like the way they hit the amp better in front. And where the clean channel in the Mark III is like very clean, it's pretty true to how it sounds. So I guess let's just EQ it kind of similarly. I'm going to use the bright switch on channel 2 just because I like that. But so that's channel 2, just like EQ basically at noon, except I got the level boosted a little bit here. Bright switch on and no drive stages here. This is the G2. So that's with them both flat with no aggression. I'd say the voicing is different, but the amount of gain is pretty close. Like at noon, like if I was gonna go maybe, this is on the red aggression now on the pedal with the gain boosted up to maybe 3 o'clock. Back to channel 2 here. That's at the gain about at the same point. One more time, this is the G2. And this is channel 2. Feel-wise, it feels a little more open on channel 2, but gain-wise, I'm not hearing a massive difference really. I also just realized I had reverb on there, so that might have altered it a little bit. But the one thing I'll say is the bright switch on the amp definitely helps with the split thing. Whereas if I were to go here without the bright on, and then this is with the bright on. So even on the clean channel, I think the bright definitely helps with that split coil type thing. But in overall tonality and gain structure off the pedal and the amp, I would say they're pretty close. I'm not sure how it sounds on your end over there, but
yeah, I think it's really close gain wise. I mean, that was kind of the whole point, was to bring in the drive modes from the G2 to a degree to channel 2 of the new Mark III. So I would say it's pretty close in gain. Yeah.
Bo, what's up, dude? So if anyone doesn't know, Bo is actually our main Pro Series builder. If you have an MK3 amp, there is a good chance he built it. Nice. He says he found the G2 into the clean channel with the wide button, got you more into the... Yeah, definitely. Like the wide and the bright, I think, are what bring it more into that turf, for sure. Fucking the day we found delay time that worked. Oh, my dad's got a delay time. He would have been around in that, I guess, when it was all analog too, frick.
Oh, he's got a chart. I don't know. I have my charts all laminated. Like my delay charts were laminated.
Remember when lyric charts were laminated even before tablets were a thing?
Oh, God,
you know?
Yeah.
Remember going to the tech gig and like 30 lyric sheets on stage and just gaff taping them across the stage.
Oh yeah.
Fucking yeah. Stiff or more flex picks? I read picks as like pictures, and I was like, "You want me to flex, dude?" And I was like, "I'm not that shredded." I like about an 88, I would say. A little bit in betweenness.
Yeah, I don't know what this thing is. It's a Fender Heavy, so what is it, like a 90 then? I don't know the numbers.
Something in that.
Used, Fender Heavies, but like I've also got picks that are like that thick.
Yeah.
Like gypsy jazz and stuff. It depends on what I'm doing. You know?
I was gonna say for acoustic, I really like a 60. and just kind of strum on it. Not
Well,
worry
yeah,
about
on
it.
the
Like I said,
mic, on the mic, a lighter pick is great on an acoustic guitar. But on the other side of the coin, if you're doing more of like a bluegrass, like single note kind of stuff, then you're going to want a slightly heavier pick so it sounds fatter. Yeah, it's not so much it's a sound thing for me more than how it feels. I've got I don't know how I've got so many different like gauges of
yeah.
like this whole thing.
I
is
feel
just
like
filled with different picks.
I feel like over time, that just becomes your answer for everything. It's like, what do you think about this pick? It's like, well, when it makes sense.
Yeah, working the track.
It's like, yeah, exactly. I think the biggest thing to take away from any of that is really just to not kind of pre-decide what you think sounds good.
Yeah,
And just
play.
in every situation, just play and see what you're feeling. And yeah. L. Scott Music. Shawn, when are you going to California?
Yeah, I would think around NAM, if that would be probably the soonest I'd get out that way. If it happens, that's when I would most likely head out that way.
Yeah.
I want to get out there. My brother Lonnie is out there, and I miss him. But yeah, it's not looking likely unless like NAM happens or something that I would be out that way too soon.
Yeah, we're not even. I mean, we're up in Canada, but like we're not even allowed to travel in between provinces in Canada right now. Like I'm not sure what the situation's like there. I feel like we're kind of getting this wave a little behind everyone else.
Yeah,
like we're kind of back in that area now.
Right. Oh, hang on a second, Sam. You guys are gonna lose me for a second because the battery on my camera is dying. Hang on a second.
Oh, good. I'll just noodle around a little bit here.
Talk amongst yourselves.
And then there was notes. I'm just gonna flip back since we were talking about the green channel there. I feel like a harder pick, fumble more because I kind of agree with that too. Like you don't have to grip quite as hard on it. Like actually, it's funny because right now I'm using. I just picked this up and I think this is like a 70 something, and I feel like I'm holding it less tight. Like it definitely, and that's why it's nice for like strummier stuff. It kind of sits there, you don't have to worry about gripping so much. Archetype's a great plugin, man. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I will say, this recent project, I did a lot of our pre-production with plugins, and then going to track actual sessions with one of the 120s was very pleasant. like plugins have definitely come a really long way, but you can't deny that there is a difference. And I'll say that from recording the same songs like back to back to back with different plugins and then switching to an amp. There's just so much more character, just different. Nothing wrong with plugins though.
No, there isn't actually. I'd still rather play through tubes, but plugins are good, man. They're getting better.
They're easy.
And better.
And it's easy to kind of get. And for me, it's like, okay, let me just get my idea out, track it, get a sound great. Like it's super easy just to get everything formulated and be able to build on it. And then once you've found that, you can jump to what you want and dial that. So yeah, nothing crazy.
Break out the glass.
Exactly, and heat it up.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Yeah, exactly. Nothing crazy or anything. Daniel, what's up, man? I feel like I've seen you in a lot of these streams too. That's awesome. Oh man, yeah, I feel like I'm on a green channel kick now. That's gonna get me going.
It's kind of
you're right.
Yeah, it's the first channel I turn on with that amp. If I just sit down to play, there's just it's just something about that,
I think it's just the amount of character it gives you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very revealing. It's like we were talking about that Bryan Adams tone. It's like it's hard to replicate because you're just hearing. There's nothing there. Like it's in with the green channel. It's very revealing. Yeah, and it just leaves a lot to your character. When you get comfortable with it, it's really nice.
Yeah, because for like the rhythm tones on that, I used the green channel exclusively because it was just perfect for the rhythm tones. And of course, I used channel. I can't remember, was it 3 or 4? I think I ended up on 3 for that. But yeah, and even that, like getting that right.
Just the little things in there, like the little phrasing. Yeah, man.
Playing it in tune. Man, it was just, like I said, the whole thing was such a rude awakening,
Yeah. It's like the simple things like that are just so exposing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's kind of what I'm finding. It's like it's easy to play a bunch of notes, but to play something like that and just have it sing the way it does is a totally different art form.
Well, yeah, I was watching Billy Gibbons. I think the video was like 12 years old, but he was playing that Gretsch guitar, the Billy Bow, I think is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just, he's Billy Gibbons for God's sakes, but he was just playing like a straight ahead. And I sound like an idiot, but it's like I heard him playing that. And I was like, oh yeah, this is straight ahead blues. I sounded like a moron when I tried to do it. And that's the thing, things that just sound so easy. It's like, no, just sit next to that monster and try to do what he just did. And you're going to be heartbroken.
With that little, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. Keith, what's up, man? Good to see you. Keith from 5 Alt Worlds joining us.
Hey, Keith.
How's it going, man? Good to see you're doing well. Daniel, sorry, I missed your comment there. So, yeah, actually, the band I've been talking about is actually a new project with... I've been playing in a band for the past... long time, called Escape from Echo Base, which is just like a kind of a melodic hardcore band with a bunch of my buddies. But we've been working on a new band, which will hopefully be launching in the next couple months. Dorian's actually been working on the release with us. And then I played with Intervals, but I don't write any of that music. So as far as my own music, you check out the few songs that I put out recently, and then there will be some new music coming with this new band in the next little bit. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, Keith, hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, glad to see you're hanging out with us here.
Keith is a sweet cat. He's got an awesome channel, too. Really great channel.
I feel like we've met at NAMM, maybe. Might have met at NAMM. But I know we've corresponded online. So I feel like there's this whole world of people where I feel like I know them quite well, but I never see them. Just from correspondence, throughout the industry and everything. It's like this whole community. And that's, I guess, what I feel like was really lacking from No NAMM this year more than anything. It's just connecting with everyone and seeing how everyone's doing and touching base. And, that's the biggest part of all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Shawn, I heard you have a new pedal demo with LPD coming up. Did you rock the rev for that? Love my LFO pedals through my generator.
Yeah, Lawrence builds really great stuff. I haven't done that demo yet, actually. I just got the pedal.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah, I've done
Matt just ordered a Mark III through us. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's killer.
But yeah,
I don't know. Have I heard of? I don't know if I've tried those.
LPD.
Wow, is my vision that bad? Holy crap, dude! Am I old? I can't read this prompter.
Yeah, I know it's LPD pedals. Yeah, Lawrence.
That looks like LFO to me. What's going on? Holy crap! Okay, boys, I'm going to the optometrist this week.
No, Lawrence is a really sweet guy. He's actually out in Scottsdale, Arizona, where actually my twin brother Scotty lives. And yeah, he builds really good pedals. I've demoed quite a few of them. But yeah, the ones that are coming up, I didn't know that those could be talked about. I guess they can. But yeah, I have yet to get around to those, but it'll be soon.
Derek Sammy plays in a Norwegian jazz quartet tributes band. If you show me one Norwegian jazz quartet, I will cover it.
Oh my God, there probably is one, man.
It's everything in Norway, man. Oh, dude. Cool. Anyone else hanging out in here have any questions or anything they want to hear while we're going on? We'll keep her going a bit. We're getting close to an hour. So if anyone wants to hear any tones or has any questions or anything like that, get in the comments and smash the like button as well. Helps us out so that we get more people hanging out on these streams. So, yeah. Give me something sweet.
I got nothing after that. I was digging what you were doing.
Oh man,
I play like that.
I've been, you know, it's funny. It's like to me, it's just something I was messing around with. It's just like playing with pedal notes over chords, like kind of just. Way that I can create, like having the same interval kind of constant, but kind of changing where it is relative to the chord that you're playing. It's just as simple of a thing it is something I've been enjoying a lot with, like that riff I was playing there. All I'm really playing is the root and the 9. With maybe like an E minor 9 with, I guess, just the open D and G and E. And it's like a really simple voicing, but I guess just because of the overtones and the way that the notes move over them, it has a lot of depth and it's kind of cool. Minor, but you have the constant G, which is the major. I don't know. Simple concept that I'm just fun with. Yeah, exactly. And then there's that.
But no, it's like
awesome.
It's like that's the common note, and you can bring the D into it. But yeah, that's great, Sam.
And I really, and also having like the having like the D and the D flat. Just I'm a big fan of like that, but making it sound.
Yeah.
Like using the dissonance to really make it sound nice. So yeah, there's another riff. That's actually one of those new songs, but there's another riff. Basically, like the whole song kind of just gravitates around those 3. So there's a. It's like kind of like a punk rock riff, but like with dense voicings, you know, like like aggressive and straight up, but dense. So,
yeah, minor
like that.
second intervals, and yeah, that sounds great, Sammy. I got to work on that stuff. I got to work on chords. I need to work on my chords.
I don't know chords. Man, do some of that, like that Landau stuff you're explaining. Sorry, I'm just noticing Ravi has a comment here. This is an experiment. Can you go to the red channel, aggro on red, and gain at 3? Aggro on red and gain at like 3. I want to see if it stays manageable. Like 3 out of 10.
You mean like 3 as in 9 o'clock?
I was gonna say right now it's like real low, but this is 9 o'clock 3. Still pretty tight, man. 3 o'clock, yeah, that's where it's at. It doesn't really get fizzy. That's at 3 o'clock with the red aggression on the red channel with the bright and the mid cut. And with the presence actually scoot back a bit too. Yeah, it doesn't really get out of control, man. Like even if I was to go exactly. Heck yeah, nice dude. Yeah, it's I don't know. It has like it's hard to make it get muddy. Like even with that.
Yeah, that's the thing. I can't imagine it like getting out of control. That's just not the Rev thing, you know.
There's one question here for you, Shawn. It says, Shawn, when you do use the middle pickup, when do you use the middle pickup most? Like, what sort of stuff would you actually use the middle pickup?
I don't. I do tend to use like a I tend to use neck position more, to be honest with you. But if I'm doing like a, I'll do more of a, so it has kind of that punch to it in the mids. But for the most part, I like to play, you know, neck position, but.
That almost is like reminiscent of how the Tyler sounded on the active mode to me. Like
Yeah,
with the
a little
attack,
bit.
you know, like where it really like short attack but sharp, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's nice. Yeah, actually, now you mentioned that. Frick, I don't really think I really use it that much. Cool sound though. I feel like it's like Eric. I think Eric Johnson used it for that for a lot of lead tones, like the center strap position.
Here and there, yeah. I mean, he's kind of, that dude does
He's an
whatever he
alien.
wants. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Out of like all like the kind of dudes in that era, like his tone is just so good. Just smooth.
Oh yeah. God, man,
Yeah,
that guy.
absolutely. What exactly was I was hoping for? Yeah, awesome. What does Jack say here? Jack, you're a great player, man. Jack's one of my students. I haven't we've been
nice.
kind of busy and I haven't done a lesson in a while, but yeah, he's a great player.
Right on.
Cool, guys. Well, if anyone has any other questions, feel free to drop them right now. Otherwise, I think we're probably gonna hit the old Dusty. You wanna maybe play us out there, Shawn? Play something lovely for us.
Sure. Actually, I'll stay on the middle position, but we'll go clean.
There you go. Hell
That's
yeah.
all she
Awesome,
wrote,
man.
kids. That's
That's all
everything
she
I
wrote.
know
Dude.
in 30 seconds.
Everything I know, okay, the best playing ever. Dude, this is a lot of fun, man. Definitely
Oh man,
do
this
this again. It was
has
a
been great. Yeah, all the guys
Yeah.
in the chat and all the questions. It's really sweet all you guys to tune in and hang out with Sammy and I.
absolutely. Yeah, just fun also being able to pick your brain, dude. I really enjoyed that a lot, and
Oh
definitely
well,
hope we can
same
hang
here.
more.
I'm gonna be ripping you off so bad with.
And
already
then
on
I
that.
will not need to play guitar anymore because all my ideas will be redundant. So there we go.
Whatever, man.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for hanging in. We'll be back next week with... Actually, we have a fun one lined up for next week, and we'll be posting about that more later this week. And again, make sure to hit subscribe, and you'll be notified when we're doing these types of things. So, wicked. Okay, night, everybody.
What you guys see ya.
See you later.
Night.